Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back. My name is Matthew, and today I'm here to help all of you who are currently in some form of contact get the commitment that you desire. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, what if you are in need of my help in creating your perfect life, or helping you find the things that are stopping you from getting there? Well, check out the links down below in the comment section or the description. They'll take you to my website where you can see the services I offer to help you with just that. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you were to like and comment on this video to get it pushed out. And if you aren't already, please subscribe to the channel and let's get us to that 4K. With that out of the way, let's get into this video. I know many of you watching this right now will be in some form of contact with your specific person. Whether it be texting, whether it be friends, whether it be flirting, whether it be friends with benefits. You are in some form of contact with your person, but you don't feel fulfilled because you don't have the commitment that you so desire. And because that commitment hasn't showed up yet, you now have these natural assumptions put in place, such as they're too stubborn to commit. I'm not good enough to commit. This is as good as it gets. Manifestation doesn't work and it's just a coincidence that we're talking. It could be any number of assumptions that have put you in this negative situation where right now what you're experiencing feels as though it is as good as it can possibly get. It feels like this is the end of the road and you either have to choose between moving on or dealing with a life of unfulfillment. If you're in this position, fret no more, because I am here to remind you that that is not the case. And I'm here to remind you what you can do to change this situation, and that this situation is entirely malleable. This situation is entirely changeable. And no matter what you are thinking, you can change what you are thinking to get what you want. No matter what you're feeling or experiencing, you can change those feelings and experiences to get what you want, which is that loving, passionate, committed relationship. So, getting into the reasons why you're in the situation that you are in, whether or not it was a new person, an ex, or a friend you knew about before LOA, and now you found LOA, you're trying to create a commitment out of it, they all have one thing in common. They're all creations through you. Regardless of whether it was conscious or unconscious, your thoughts and assumptions have led you to be in the situation that you are in right now. So, the reason why this is important is because you got yourself here, but you're also what is holding you back from getting any further than where you're at. The reason why that is the case is you are looking at the behavior, or more than likely looking at the behavior you are experiencing right now and being unable to look past it at what's to come. You are unable to let go of the 3D situation, look past it in the 4D, as in the commitment, the marriage, the love, the anniversaries, all of that lot, and assume that that is the case. Stay consistent and persistent in the new assumptions, in the new story. You're allowing the 3D situation of what you're experiencing when they say they're not ready for commitment, when they say they don't want anything further than friends with benefits, when they say that you're better off as friends, or they're just not ready for marriage, or whatever it is that your commitment or end result is. When they say these things, you are associating that to be true. And when you're associating that to be true for you, you are allowing that to continue to repeat until it becomes your natural assumptions, or until it becomes something that you focus on so much that it just keeps playing out. And then when it plays out again, you focus on it so much that it keeps playing out. When you take your awareness away from these things that are undesirable, away from the things that your committed version of yourself wouldn't have, you can then start placing them instead on the things that your committed version would have. For example, the version of this person who does want the commitment, who does want the relationship, who does want more than friends with benefits, or whatever it is that your situation is. When you take out of consciousness the version of them, the idea of them that doesn't want everything that you do want, and instead allow that to dissolve and place your consciousness on the version of them that has everything that you want, or does want everything you want, you are allowing the old story and the current 3D to break down and fall apart to make room for the new story, for the new 3D, for the 3D where you have this commitment. The only reason that you are not getting the commitment is not because they're too stubborn, is not because they just want friends, or you're better off as friends, or you're not worthy or committed or anything like that. The only reason you are not getting your manifestation is you are assuming current circumstances, current assumptions to be true. whether or not that's to do with their behavior or whether or not that's to do with your self-worth, you are still associating what is playing out here to be true for you. So, what it takes in order to get you past this and into the reality where you're experiencing what your desired version would be experiencing, you need to handle situations and handle negative thoughts or unconscious thoughts the way that your new version would. In order for you to experience what your new version is experiencing, and if you're unsure, by new version, I mean the committed relationship version of you. If you want to experience what they are experiencing, you must think, feel, and act the way that that new version would think, feel, and act. So for example, if I was in a committed relationship and my person said to me, I don't want commitment, I just want friends, I'd laugh it off. We're already committed, so it's clearly a joke. You should have the same kind of attention, the same kind of perspective on anything that is undesirable, whether it's a thought or an action of your specific person or a statement from your specific person, as you would if the new version of you had heard it. If they say, look, we're better off as friends, in your mind, laugh it off because you two are together. If they say to you they don't want anything more, or if you have the assumption that they're too stubborn to want anything more, or they're too stubborn to get over their commitment issues, laugh it off. Up here, in your desired version, you're already committed to this person who's too stubborn for commitment. So you just laugh it off and go back to that reality. Well, what are you on about? We're already committed. You go back to reality up here in the 4D of this is done. Whether that's through affirmations of saying, well, we're in this committed, loving, passionate relationship. Whether it's visualizing him saying the opposite or her saying the opposite. Whether it's scripting this amazing life that you've built together. All it takes is taking your awareness away from the undesired and instead placing it on what you wish to experience. It's all about changing your perspective of situations. So, if you want to move past this, what do? You look past it at what's to come. Instead of allowing what is to control what's going on up here, you allow what's to come up here to control what is. First within, so without. So if you're using the validation from the 3D, using their actions and statements to prove to you what is real, you will always be stuck in this loop. And that is why you're experiencing something that you feel is as good as it gets. You feel they're too stubborn for. You feel that you're not worthy enough for. It has nothing to do with you actually not being worthy. It has nothing to do with them actually being too stubborn. It has nothing to do with this is actually as good as it gets. It's all to do with your association of those things being true. It's all to do with you looking at what is and assuming that that is solid. Assuming that that is creation. That is reality. When it's not. That is a figment of your inner perspective. That is a figment of consciousness that has been pushed out. All of this is old story. So if you want your current reality to become what you want, you must make current thoughts what you want them to be. You must make current feelings and actions in alignment with what you want to experience. And that will make your future 3D, when it pushes out, exactly what you are thinking right now. Current thoughts become future 3D. It may not take that long. It may take some persistence. It may take some dedication. I can't promise you exactly how long it will take. But what I can promise you is regardless of whether your person's stubborn in your mind, whether you're good enough for them, whether or not it's just as good as it gets, the second, and I mean the second you change those thoughts, you handle these situations better, you stop associating with their behavior that it is now to be true for you, you are molding, you are weaving a new reality in which you will experience what you want to experience. But first, you've got to look past the veil. You've got to look past the puppet show that's going on out here where they're not giving you what you want. Because you're the operant power. Your consciousness is God. You want to experience something? Experiencing it up here. But every time you give in to their statements, their actions, or even your own assumptions in regards to them that are undesirable, you're reweaving the current reality. So every time you use this 3D to validate you, you are just sewing with the same strings that you're currently seeing. You got to pick up a new colored string. And to do that, you must pick up a new thought. You must pick up a new perspective. You must change where your consciousness lies. You must change what you're allowing to enter consciousness. You must change the way that you see situations and the way that you handle them to be in alignment with what your desired version would have. And if you're unsure in the moment, ask yourself, if I was in this committed relationship with someone that I thought was stubborn and is no longer stubborn, how would I perceive their stubbornness? Well, I'd laugh it off because they were too stubborn before, but now they're with me, so clearly they're not that stubborn. Just as an example. How would I act if I thought I wasn't worthy enough when I was clearly worthy enough to get this commitment? Well, I'd laugh it off because, look, I managed to land them as my partner. So, think, feel, and act the way that your new version, your desired version, the version of you who is committed would think, feel, and act. In order for you to experience what that version of you has, you must experience what that version of you would be thinking, feeling, and acting in order for it to play out there, in order for it to weave a new reality with a new set of string. I hope this video has helped. If it has, leave me a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.